Okay, definitely not the news I was expecting to see today at all. Apparently, though, allegedly, factually, Yellowjackets is in fact ending in the next season. Season 4 will be the last, and although I cannot say I'm completely surprised that they chose to end it with 4 seasons, I'm gonna reserve my right to say that I'm disappointed until we get an episode count. Because if we get enough episodes, they can flesh out every lingering question that I feel like Yellowjackets still has yet to answer. But it is a lot that we still need to have answered that I just can't see them being able to fit all in one season. When you try to stuff too much story in one season, you know what comes with a season. That's rush, which results in storylines that are unfinished. And as you asked in the question of why certain storylines were even brought up to begin with, we weren't going to explore it to this extent. The thing about Yellowjackets is that it's a world that prides itself on its mystery, not so much in the present day. In the past, though, it's a lot of phenomena going on wherever the hell they ended up at that just don't make sense. The numbers don't be adding up. And even though I've learned with mysteries like this to not get my hopes up, because whatever comes of the mystery is not going to satisfy my expectations. I still feel like these things need to be answered, and there need to be good answers to what comes of these mysteries. Is Lottie actually crazy, or was the forest dead ass talking to her back in the day and in the present? What in God's name is going on with Thais? How did these girls end up exterminating Hannah? We need all these answers in this final season, and I think we go get them, but I would urge fans to temper expectations. Whether the answers we seek are good or bad, at the end of the day, they are answers. You could be mad if you personally felt like the answer to the question that you had was asked. Also acknowledge that the show took the time to give you an answer, period. Okay, long intro aside, with this video, I just want to give my thoughts on the fact that this is the last season of Yellowjackets. Go over some comments made by the creators themselves on the season, and share the direction I feel like this season is headed now that we know we are officially in Yellowjackets Endgame. With those things say, you already know what you guys do. Go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe, do all those things right now. Let's talk about this Yellowjackets news. So I definitely am surprised that this is going to be the last season. I thought when they first renewed season 4, a good amount of time after season 3 ended, that we were probably going the 5 seasons route. But thinking about it, it took them a very long time to renew that 4th season. Realistically, it probably should have been a sign that they were debating exactly where they wanted to go with the story. I think played a huge role in this decision to make season 4 the 4th and final season of this series. That being said, though, I gotta go back to the comments I made earlier on in the video where we have all these questions that need answers. And knowing this, they still chose to make this the last season. So they have to have a plan to address everything that we have questions for. Maybe not everything, but the most obvious, they put it in your face questions that we have, they have to have some type of plan to give us those answers. Now only got this season to get all that. Mind you, we're still in the woods. And I'm predicting we gotta spend at least one episode out in the woods because they gotta get rid of Hannah. Hannah does not come back with them to the States. We're not just going to montage past that because that is clearly important, directly related to Melissa's girlfriend, who's also Hannah's daughter, we have not seen in the present day yet. Keep all that in mind. All these things have to get touched on in the season 4 finale alone, and that's just that. I also feel like the pacing for this season is going to be a lot faster than another season. Like in Yellowjackets, whether it's the present or past timeline, we're always due for some weird shit. But it takes a while, especially in the past timeline, for things to build up. You appreciate the story building. But now we're in the final season. It's about to be all gas, no break. And I do feel like we're at the perfect time for that in the Yellowjackets story. There's no going back from the events that ended season 3. Allie and Jeff leaving Shauna. Melissa just got reintroduced into the story, and she's a crash. Literally just killed Natalie, setting Taissa off, got her wanting to work willingly with Maggie, who just got done beefing with Shauna, and then we still got Walter in the back doing Lord knows what. On top of the fact that Callie is the one who killed Lottie. They got a lot that they gotta expand on in just one season's time. But the good news is that all these things are interrelated. So depending on how you go about it, you could execute a great story with all of these storylines culminating into one thing, which all goes back to the impact and the effects of the traumatic accident these girls had years back. Generational trauma even in Callie. I'm expecting Callie to get a lot of big moments in this season. You don't just kill Lottie and then fall off in season 4. You're not allowed to do that. The final season, mind you. I'm ranting. Let's get some quotes off real quick. I already know we got that complex support. And in it, we got some comments from the series creators, Ashley Lyle and Bart Nicholson. Decided to end Yellowjackets at 4 seasons. They say, and I quote, "After 3 incredible seasons and great consideration, we're excited to announce that we will be bringing the story of Yellowjackets to its twisted conclusion in this 4th and final season." Deadass almost ran out of oxygen reading that shit. So just from this quote alone, after great consideration, we finally decided to bring Yellowjackets to its twisted conclusion. I'm telling y'all, they had to be in that booth thinking so hard on whether they wanted to end this at 4 or 5 seasons. That's why we got the renew message so late. I'm just hoping that with this said from the show's creator, they would have enough respect for themselves to want this series to go out in a bang, the blaze of glory that it deserves. Not holding no punches whatsoever, giving us some real closure to these character storylines. I hope and pray that we get that. I also say that they bring in the story to its twisted conclusion. Oh no, why can't be a happy ending? Why it gotta be twisted? We got another quote from the creators where they say, we've always known there will come a point when the story would tell us it wants to end. And it's our belief that our job, our responsibility is to listen to the wilderness. Obviously reminiscent of the girls constantly feeling like the force is talking to them. They doing it for the wilderness out there, taking each other's lives for no reason. They don't even need to take these girls' lives to survive anymore, bro. They're just doing it for the fun of the game. I don't know. I just feel that these creators are very self-aware right now. And I'm hoping they can stick the landing on this ending. I mean, it's so hard to end any series that has this much mystery in it. I just hope that the ending is satisfying at the end of the day. All right, y'all, let's go ahead and gather around the campfire real quick. I'm done reading the quotes now. I'm going to give my early thoughts on how I feel like this season is going to start in both timelines, the past and the present. Starting with the past, so boom, I feel like we immediately have to see the ramifications of Natalie doing what she did by the end of season 3. Obviously, we know Shauna is not going to like that. She's also not going to like the fact that Hannah decided to dupe her how she did. Maybe before Natalie's able to get back to camp, Shauna decides, you know what, I'm going to just spite Natalie and take Hannah out right now. Even though I think it's more effective if she does it in front of Natalie, and I feel like the way Shauna's built, she would definitely wait for her to come back before doing so. But regardless, I see Hannah dying in that first episode, and I don't think it's going to take the rescuers too long to come to them after the fact. By the end of that first episode of the season, they have to be out of the wilderness, because we still have to cover them getting rescued, getting reintegrated back into society, all that they do to cut Melissa off. Keep in mind, they thought Melissa was dead, but clearly she made it on the plane with them. So what did they do, and why did they think that she was dead? I think we're going to see Evil Ty and regular Ty fighting a lot more this season as well. Good Ty was always on the back foot last season. She can't go out like that. I understand Evil Ty is at a point where she could give a absolute fuck less about Good Ty, but Good Ty is still a character in her own right. So I do want to see that dichotomy between these two characters and how it impacts Ty and her relationships overall. Not sure how Walter's going to be handled going into this season, I'm going to be honest. Seen him creepily stalking Misty and Ty outside of that diner where they was having a meeting. Even outside of bro being creepy, we still have so much more to learn about this character that just crowded on the scene on BT, by the way. There's a history to him that we don't know, and I'm looking forward to seeing how his character impacts the greater story of Yellowjacket and what his real purpose has been this whole time. I think we'll also start to see Callie descend into darkness even further. I even see her fuck around and start hunting her mom, not even gonna lie. I'm looking forward to seeing Callie's ties to the wilderness and how that impacts her in the present day. How's this gonna impact her relationship with her father? Damn, man. That man really thought he rid his family of evil. Whole time you still got one residing under your roof. She probably worse than her mom, and if she's not, she's definitely going to get worse than her mom with time. Last thing I want to comment on before I end this video. Whoever is responsible for episode counts per season, whoever you are, whatever your title is, please, and I'm begging, please give us more than 10 episodes. We gon' need like 16, maybe 12 minimum. Maybe I dragged it with 16, but I don't know. I just don't want this story to be impacted by feeling like it needs to rush itself. Not enough we fake cramming a lot of things into one singular season. If you guys have the budget to 4 more episodes, just do more episodes. Nobody is going to complain about a handful more of episodes. I mean, after this, we're not getting any more Yellowjackets unless they do like a spinoff on Walter's life or some shit like that. So just go out with a bang. Shit, drop 30 episodes if you want to. That's all I got for y'all today on this Yellowjackets news, though. Really sucks to hear. All good things gotta come to an end at some point, and I honestly do feel like this is the perfect place to end the show, as bittersweet as it is. So long as they can fit all the answers that we need in this season, we shall see about that. Till next time, though, I've been Jose Suave. We've been entertained, and we're gonna talk soon. Peace out.